The first of 5 aspects of mental fitness that I introduced in my opening video this year is resilience, the mental parallel of endurance in physical health. There are a ton of online resources on this topic, and many talk about the other 4 mental fitness aspects: focus, optimism, curiosity, and social connectedness as building blocks for resilience. Today I want to talk about resilience in the context of mental fitness, and specifically how we deal with depression, anxiety, and stress. Firstly, feeling depressed, anxious, and stressed are completely normal feelings. It's what makes us human. The difference between these feelings and suffering from clinical depressive or anxiety disorders is when it overwhelms us over long periods of time, often more than 2 weeks straight, and it impairs our ability to function at work and our daily routines. When we provide support to people dealing with depression and anxiety, we first acknowledge that these feelings are real, and then we get them to think about one small action that they can take to move out from the current state. We get overwhelmed when we focus on the unfairness of people and the world around us. We either blame others, or more often we blame ourselves. And the danger is we get stuck in this victim mindset and we expect others to change. Now, there are 3 things that I want to share about resilience today. First, it's about recognizing that overcoming all the adversity, threats, and stressful situations starts with us. Big problems can be intimidating because we can't see the end solution and we don't do anything. But the key to overcoming these situations is to identify the smallest actions that are easy and achievable. Small steps build momentum and help build a resilient mindset, taking action to change our situation. How do we start to get healthy? It's not about signing up for a marathon or triathlon immediately. It's about today, for example, just putting on a pair of walking shoes by the door. If we do that, that's victory for the day. Tomorrow, let's aim to put them on and just go for a short 1-minute walk. Victory. How do we overcome difficult assignments and situations at work? Recognize that the difficult people at work are not going to change. So what are we going to do to start changing our circumstances? What conversations do we need to have face to face instead of just cold emails? The second step to building resilience is a process of regular reflection on what's working, what's not working, and what we need to tweak and adapt, ideally weekly. Now, this is hard to do by ourselves, and that's where having the right support network of people who will be our mirrors and help us reflect on our situation and ask us these reflective questions. That helps us to build resilience. No matter what plan of action that we start, we're going to inevitably hit roadblocks and obstacles. Resilience is about reflecting when it happens and then trying a plan B or alternative approach. When I talk about the dozens and dozens of times our investor pitches for iFlix or Naluri fundraising were rejected, so many no's, the key is not just to simply carry on, but every subsequent attempt is tweaked and adapted. We ask for feedback. What did they not like about our pitch? Okay, take that feedback on board and we tweak, and then we do it differently the next time. And it's the same thing with someone who takes actions but falls into a routine. Whether you're doing the same workout, running at the same speed for the same amount of time, soon the body adapts and you're not going to get any more fit. So if you're approaching your work in the same approach and same process, soon you're going to get comfortable with the routine and it becomes harder to change and easier to blame difficulties on external factors. But if we institute a practice where every week we ask ourselves, what are we going to adjust and do differently the next week? We build up resilience. Resilience matters not just to start and tackle the adversity, but resilience also counts in overcoming our status quo and our habits, overcoming complacency. One actionable tip: if you're wrestling with a big obstacle, keep a running list. I use Google Sheets to track all of my actions and attempts and what feedback and reflections I've received and try out each time. It's hard to keep track of learning when it's just in our heads. Writing them down is a simple and powerful way to manage it. Now, the final third point on resilience for me is that it's not only about learning from failures, but the willingness to try again Failed in business? Start a new one. Failed in a relationship? Start a new one. Failed at attempting open water swimming in a triathlon? Sign up for the next race. Otherwise, we treat failure as a signal that we're just not cut out for something and we stop trying. We stay away. Avoiding what we fear gives a temporary feeling of relief, and it actually encourages us to avoid that difficult situation. And the more we avoid, the more our sense of fear for that grows. So resilience is about taking on that source of fear again and again and again. For 40 years, I never learned how to swim in open water because I was terrified of deep and unknown waters. Probably scared from growing up in the 1970s and 80s and watching the movie Jaws. Now I learned how to use triathlons as a way to deal with that fear. And I know that fear never goes away, but I learned not to let that fear stop me from starting. I still swim even though I'm still afraid of deep water. One day, I decided to take my fear of sharks head on, and I signed up for a shark cage diving off the coast of Adelaide in South Australia. I'm still terrified of sharks in the deep sea, but resilience is the willingness to confront our fears head on, to see it with our own eyes and to not let it win. What fears hold you back? And what is the one small action that you can take to move ahead from your current situation to overcome it? So until the next time, let's keep it positively personal.